Hey, what's up y'all? So in today's video I'm gonna be talking about the 3 local mountains we have here in Vancouver. If you are a local rider, I have some tips and I would like to share. If you are a tourist, well, there is a lot of things you're gonna learn from this video. If you live in the city and have never hit the slopes yet, you're also gonna see a lot of content over here. That's gonna be one of the best videos for you to start looking for which mountain you want to go. In this video I'm gonna be showing you guys season passes, best dates to buy them, lift tickets, prices, types of ride you're gonna find in each other mountain, views you can get, especially if you're a tourist. Well, views matter, right? So I'm gonna be playing a tour that I made on Google Earth and I'm gonna be talking on top of it, guiding you guys through. Let's do it. Alright guys, so for those of you who doesn't know Canada, that's Canada. And we are gonna zoom in to BC, more precisely the metro region of Vancouver. And from here we can already see all the 3 mountains, Cypress, Grouse and Seymour. I'm also want to show you guys the view you can get from the city, which is pretty cool. So on your left you can see the 2 peaks of Cypress. On your right you can see Grouse Mountain. The track coming down the hill you guys can see over there, it is from where they film all those amazing videos from big jumps, and they also filmed the Red Bull and Court. Moving to the right over here we can see Mount Seymour over there, and we have Science Silver down here on the right. Okay guys, so here we go to Vancouver's most famous mountain, Grouse Mountain. Despite it being the most famous resort, that's not the biggest one. I would suggest you guys to use Grouse if you are a beginner or an intermediate rider. If you are a more advanced one, that is a point that we gotta discuss. Because if you're looking for pole, out of boundary and tree rides, that's gonna get a little bit boring after a few days. So I wouldn't suggest you to go to Grouse to do this kind of runs with a season pass, because you guys will get bored. But if you guys are looking for park, that's the place to be. Their parks are really well maintained. I know they have 6 parks over there and 2 are for beginners, but the features are okay if you're trying to warm up. That's gonna be totally fine. Also, they have more 3 regular parks that have features from medium to extra large. And a point to keep an eye on is about the jump lines, because they have a large, extra large jump line that is amazing and very well maintained. They are always throwing some salt. That's the park you guys want to check it out for sure. And in spite of that, they have a new park that is made all of wood, so all features are made of wood, and they claim it is the first kind in Canada, so you guys should definitely check it out. Okay, and how to get to Grouse Mountain? I'm gonna give you guys 2 pretty good options by bus. Let's suppose you guys are close to Burrard Station. There you guys only have to walk to westbound Georgia with Burrard Street and get the 240 bus and leave the bus on westbound Marine Drive with Hampton. And from that point, you guys are just gonna have to cross the street and get the 236 Grouse Mountain bus. That's gonna take about 1 hour to go from downtown. The second option would be to get the C bus from Waterfront Station. So if you guys are in Burrard, you guys can get the SkyTrain to Waterfront Station or just walk to the station because it is pretty close. And from there you guys get the C bus that leaves each 15 minutes, and you guys can take some pretty good pictures of the city and of the mountains from there. Once you get to Lonsdale Quay, you're gonna see the terminal bus in front of you, and from that terminal bus you go to bay number 8 and you guys are gonna get the 236 Grouse Mountain bus, and that's gonna stop right in front of the gondola. Also, another option would be to go by car, so it takes from downtown about 15 to 25 minutes. It depends on traffic. Also, you guys can go by Evo car because they have a parking lot over there for Evos. Okay, so let's talk about the mountain attractions. So in the lodge, we have a fine dining restaurant. We also have a bistro and a coffee shop, and there's a self-service cafe they have over there, so you can grab your stuff and get out in a few minutes. And they also have an alpine clothing store if you forget anything or if you want to buy something, that's the way to go. And if you're a tourist, well, go to the souvenir gift shop they have over there. Another thing is the beaver tails. There it is, this thing from the picture, it looks pretty good, and that's not a popular thing over here with British Columbians, but I know it is very popular on the East Coast. Another thing is the eye of the wine. It is actually a pod that goes up to that turbine and it has pretty good views. If you guys are going with kids, they have the sliding zone, so throw your kids over there and go do something else like snowshoeing or ice skating, or even bring the kids for doing that. They have all the rentals you guys need for snowshoeing and ice skating at the mountain. Another pretty cool thing is the mountain zip lines they have there. I know that the course is kind of big. And of course we have ski and snowboarding. I'm gonna show you guys here this track map because you guys can have a better view of the lifts and the tracks. Also, I would like to point it out is that to get to Grouse, you gotta get the gondola to go up the mountain. There is no other way to get to the mountain unless going through the gondola, and riding the gondola lead us to the ticket. Cause to get to the gondola, you gotta pay the admission ticket that is in this table over here. If you are going for snowboarding skiing, the gondola ride is gonna be included, but it is another price, a little bit more expensive. But if you guys are going just to enjoy whatever they have up there, you guys are gonna pay 56 bucks plus something else if you wanna get to the Eye of the Wine or the mountain zip lines. If you guys are going for the sliding zone, snowshoeing or ice skating, and you guys are bringing your own equipment, that's gonna be totally free. Okay guys, let's move to the daily lift ticket for ski and snowboard. It does include the gondola, okay, so you guys don't have to pay anything extra. As you guys can see here, we have the night snow lift ticket. So if you have never night skied before, well, you guys are gonna get that at all the three mountains we have here in Vancouver, okay? And they give some discounts if you come at night. Also, don't forget to check it out the prices online before you go, because the prices can change, right? So keep an eye on it. And let's move to the season passes. Okay, and here we have the price table with all season passes. So the winter pass that you guys can see on the left is just like the unlimited early bird pass. The only thing is that the winter pass they start selling once the season starts or when it is pretty close, and the unlimited and the limited they sell by the end of the last season until the beginning of this one. Despite they also have another cheaper ticket that I'm gonna talk about it later. But from this table, what is different from the unlimited and the limited is that the limited you cannot go on weekends and some blackout dates that I'm not 100% sure, but I know that those are between December 25th and January 2nd. And the prices are pretty fair with all other mountains, so I would suggest you guys to go only with the limited if you work on weekends. And the passes that aren't shown here in this table are the YouTube Play and the Spring Pass. The YouTube Play is by far the best deal because you're gonna pay 300 bucks for the unlimited pass, and they only sell by the end of the season or like mid-February until the end of the season, and after that they start selling those early bird passes. What is pretty cool about this YouTube Play Pass is that if you buy by February or March, you can ride with it till the end of the season and the next season. So it is a pretty good deal. If you are here just during spring, they have the spring pass, and this pass costs about 90 bucks. You can go as many times you want until the season ends. It usually lasts like 2 months. So if you're here during spring, check it out this pass because it is the cheapest one you guys can get. And now I would like to show you guys the rental table for skiing and snowboarding. So you guys should keep an eye on the snowboard package, snowboarding boots. That's the full package, right, for snowboarding, plus the clothing if you don't have it. Okay, and if you guys are going for ski, you guys get the ski package that also costs 45 bucks, and that's it. If you're a more advanced rider and you want to go with the premium package for snowboarding or ski, the prices are right over there, and I definitely would suggest you guys to get these equipments because they're way better. They have several brands and you can choose from several types of boards, so go check it out, those premium equipments, because they are worth. Okay, so now we are going to take a look sideways of Grouse. So down there is where the gondola goes off until it gets to the top. They have several parking lots, and if you are going by car, they're gonna charge you 10 bucks for the parking. If you have a season pass, you can buy a season pass park that's gonna cost $40 for 1 year for the whole season, and 69 or 70 bucks for 2 years. And right now, let me show you guys what kind of pictures you can get from the top. That is right here. You can see all the city down there, and this is the kind of shots you guys can get from there. Pretty amazing shots. Moving to the D-cut track, that is that track I just told you about the big jumps. This is the kind of shots you guys can get. The place is amazing, the city looks amazing, so you guys should definitely go down this track or try the big jumps we have over there. Now we have finished Grouse and moving to Cypress, which is the biggest resort we have here in Vancouver. It is 600 acres of skiable terrain, so it is kind of big, but they divided the mountain into sections. The first one is what they call the downhill part, that has the skiing and snowboard, so the lifts are all there. And the second part, you are gonna have their cross-country skiing, snow tubing, and snowshoeing. They have plenty of trails, and the views are amazing from there. So if you're looking for cross-country skiing, that's the resort you want to check it out. But if you are a snowboarder or a skier and you are looking for pole, out of boundary, and tree runs, that's the mountain I would suggest you guys to go to, because they have a very large terrain. You guys are not gonna get bored of the same three rides, the same runs. They have like a good amount of terrain to go through and discover new areas. So you guys are gonna be pretty happy with a season pass, unless you guys are more of a park oriented rider. So I wouldn't suggest you guys to go there unless you guys are going for just a few days. So you could have it all and still have some really good park riding. The ways to get to Cypress are pretty simple. Since they don't have a city bus that goes up to the mountain, you gotta go by car or you can ask for a ride. And there are two ways of asking for a ride over here. One is to go to the rideshare communities that we have online. I'm in all of them because I usually ask for some rides to go there because I don't have a car. And another way is to go to the middle of the road and, just ask for a ride. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly the spot to do that, because they have a pretty good spot where the drivers can stop by and give you a ride up there. And another way is by taking their own shuttle. I know that this shuttle goes in several spots in the city, but I know that the only spot that they have this bus going out every day is at the Lonsdale Quay, and I'm gonna show you guys how to get there. So right here at this map, I'm supposing you are close to the Burrard station, so you can walk to the Burrard station or get the SkyTrain at Burrard and move to the waterfront station, and from the waterfront station you take the C bus, which leaves the quay each 15 minutes, so that's pretty frequent. And the travel takes about 15 minutes, and you guys can take several pictures from the C bus. The mountains look amazing from there, and also the city. So prepare your cameras, and once you get there at the Lonsdale Quay, you guys have to go through the terminal, and once you get to the barricades, you turn right, and right there in this map where you guys can see the red line is where the bus is gonna stop. It stops in front of a coffee shop, so once you get there, you're gonna see people carrying some skis and snowboards. So I recommend you guys to go to the Cypress Coach Line website that I'm gonna be posting down here in the description of this video, so you guys can check it out, the bus stops and also the price of the trips. And over here I'm showing you guys the table with the prices, but you guys know it can change anytime, so that's better if you guys get to the website first. And with that, the bus is gonna take you guys up to the mountain pretty safe. That's the best way to go if you don't have a car. But if you guys are snow freaky like me, there is another way that I'm gonna show you guys. So let's say you guys are close to Burrard Station, so you guys are gonna have to go to the westbound East Georgia Street with the Burrard Station and get a bus to the Park Royal. Any bus, they have like 2 or 3 buses that go there. So here in this map I'm showing you the bus 250 or Shore Bay, and once you get to the Park Royal you go off and wait for this another bus over here in this another map. The number is the 256, and the bad thing about this bus is that they only have one going by each hour. So if you lost one, that's gonna take another hour for the next bus. So you see that bus stop right in the corner. So you guys don't stop over there. You just have to ask for the driver to stop close to the bridge after he passes the bus stop, and he's gonna stop right before the bridge on the red circle. And can you guys see a red trail going along aside the red line? You guys are gonna have to hike up the trail. It takes tops 20 minutes to get up there to where the arrow is pointing at. Once you get up there, you can see that you have their lookout point, and that lookout point is amazing. Like everybody stops there to take a good picture when the weather allows you to, so you guys are gonna have a pretty good view from there. And then you walk past the stopping parking lot they have there, and then you walk to where I just pointed the arrow and wait for a car, just put your thumbs up and wait. I've never waited more than 5 cars. Usually on the second or third car somebody stops and give me a ride up. So yeah, it usually works, but never do that at night. I tried one time doing that at night and nobody stopped. So don't try that at night. The drivers may get a little bit worried to stop for somebody who they doesn't even know. So avoid doing that at night. Stick with the morning plans and you guys are gonna be fine. Okay, so now let's talk about the attractions you guys are gonna see there at the lodge on the downhill part. So at the lodge, they're gonna have a bar and grill that's called Craze Raven, and also they have a small cafe that they call Gold Medal Cafe. And the one that everybody uses is the Cypress Creek Grill, which is a self-service cafe. You grab your stuff and you get out really quickly. And they also have an alpine store over there that they call Big Bear Sports. And of course, you have the ski and snowboard stuff. Okay, so let's go for the ticket rates. So this table show you guys what are the prices over there. Also pay attention because the price varies with time of the day. So in the afternoon it gets a little bit cheaper, and at night it also gets a little bit even cheaper. Now let's talk about the season passes. So we have the silver and the G8 pass over here, but they also have 2 more options and also the selling group. So I'm gonna talk about all of them. So let's start with the silver one. So the silver means that you're not gonna be allowed to go during weekends of January and February, and also you're not gonna be allowed to go between December 25th and January 2nd. But if you want to go on those dates, you can buy a ticket with 40% off. But if you want it all, you want to go every day, especially on weekends, you buy the G8 pass, and that is not gonna have any kind of limit. So if you're here during the whole year and you want to save some money in these passes, first of all, you can get into the selling groups, and in those groups, they're gonna offer the silver pass that here costs 4,500 to about 3,200. So that's a pretty good deal. If you are going with the G8 that here costs 800, that is gonna cost around 6,500. I'm just not exactly sure about the prices, but those are more or less the prices that I can remember from last season. And if you're here during the beginning of the season, a good deal that they do is that they sell the Silver Extra Pass, which means you can go during weekends, but not during the blackout date of December 25th until January 2nd. And you're gonna pay like about $400 for this pass. And the coolest thing is that you can ride the end of the season and the next season that's about to come. So that's a pretty good deal. Kind of looks like what they do with the youth to play
at Grouse. And also, if you are coming just to stay during the spring, they also have a spring pass, which they call beach pass, and it costs 80 bucks. And this is the rental table. You guys can check it out, the prices over here. Always get the set. Ski or snowboard set means that if you are going skiing, you're gonna get the skis, the ski boots, and the poles. If you're going snowboarding, you're gonna get the boots and the snowboard. And also we have the performance equipments over here. That's a little bit more pricey than Grouse, but they are worth. You're gonna find a little bit better boards, so keep an eye on it. They don't let the boards go more than 2 seasons for those performance rentals. Another thing you guys gotta keep in mind is that the parking lots are free and they have several parking lots. But if you are parking close to the lodge on weekends, they are gonna charge you 10 bucks. So right here I'm turning the camera so you guys can get a view of how the mountains look like at Cypress. And then I'm gonna go to the sky chair peak over here so you guys can get a view from the city. That's not exactly like that, so you guys can check on in this picture more or less how it looks like. And I'm gonna turn the camera to the back, and I'm gonna turn the camera over here so you guys can see the another Cypress mountain, the city, the airport, and from here you guys can also get some really good shots. It is the same peak, you just have to walk a little bit more to the side to get this kind of views. And then I'm gonna move to the another mountain so you guys can have an idea how it looks like. And from here, what's pretty cool is that you can see Mount Baker down there and also the city. The trees are gonna kind of get in the way, so that's not exactly how that's gonna look. Keep that in mind. And now let's move to the cross country area. So this is the mountain we have for the cross country area. And also here is where you are going for snowshoeing and snow tubing. So for snowshoeing, you also can get to the peak of that mountain you can see over there. And to get to the top of that mountain, if you don't want to use the trails inside Cypress, that's gonna be free because it is part of BC Park. So you can get up there for free. But if you want to use the Cypress trails, I'm gonna show you guys the tickets and all that. Okay, so let's start with the attractions we have here at the Nordic area. So right here we are gonna find a Nordic cafe right in the base. In the middle of the mountain you guys are gonna find the famous Hollyburn Lodge. Right here I have the table of the sliding area prices. And right here we have the tubing prices. I believe you can only stay there for the maximum of 2 hours. And right here I'm showing you guys the snowshoe tickets for the snowshoe trail, so those are the prices. And you can also get a ticket with a rental of snowshoe, and those are the prices too. Right now this is the table to get the cross country tickets, and right here we have the price for the rentals. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn the camera to the peak of the Hollyburn Mountain so you guys can take a look and see more or less how it looks like from there. It is worth going up there, the views are amazing and the trails are also pretty cool. Okay, so those are the prices for the season passes for the Nordic area, and the price of the tickets are pretty fair, I would say, but you guys still can get a little bit cheaper if you guys get it through the selling groups that I just mentioned before. The cross country pass is gonna drop to, I don't know, like around $200, so it is a pretty good discount. And that's it for the passes. Okay guys, now that we finished Cypress, let's move to Seymour. And right here Seymour, despite it is the smallest resort we have here, that's not that small, that's just like 10 acres smaller than Grouse, so you're not even gonna notice the difference in size. Despite it's the smallest one, that's gonna deliver good amount of ride for everybody. So if you're going for bow, out of boundary, and tree rides, that's gonna be totally fine, and their park is also great. I would say that the runs are gonna be smaller than what we have at Cypress, but their park's gonna be way better than they have at Cypress. That's gonna be the best of the two worlds. If you wanna go for one or another, I would suggest you to go to Grouse or Cypress, but if you wanna have them all, go to Seymour and you're gonna be totally fine. Okay, so now let's talk about how to get to Seymour. Those are pretty simple ways too. So you can go by car and check the rideshare community. I'm also gonna show you guys a way of asking for a ride in the middle of the road. But the easiest way is to get their shuttle, which is pretty cheap. So if you wanna get the shuttle, you first gotta get to the base of the mountain. So if you are close to Garage Station, you have to walk to the Garage Station Bay too and get the 211 bus to Mount Seymour, and you're gonna have to leave in the last bus stop, which is gonna be the Mount Seymour Parkway. So getting to this bus stop, that's gonna be just like I'm showing this image, and you're gonna have to walk to the public library, and that's the shuttle bus stop. I know that this bus goes off every day from that bus stop, and those are the prices from this table. And another way that I just told you guys about asking for a ride, if you guys are a snow freak like me, you just have to walk to that red spot that I marked on the map, wait for some cars and ask for a ride with your thumbs up. And to get to Seymour by car, that's not gonna take long. If you are leaving from downtown, that's gonna take about 30 minutes, so that's pretty fast. Okay, now let's talk about the mountain attractions. So they have two separate lodges, and in the first one you're gonna find a cafe, and the second lodge, that is the biggest one, you have a cafeteria and a bar and grill, and also an alpine store in case you forget something, or if you wanna get their merch. Okay, so over there you're also gonna be able to go for snowshoeing, snow tubing, and tobogganing. So tobogganing is just like the sliding zones for kids in the other mountains. And of course, you're also gonna get ski and snowboard. Now moving to the daily lift tickets. This is the table. Take a look at it. Also, don't forget to check online on their website. I know that they also have some discounts if you buy online. Actually, it applies for every mountain, so take a look at this before you go. And this is the table for the season passes. They also have some group sellings, so I know that the prices go a little bit down too, but I have never bought one from them, but I know that those groups exist. And now I'm showing you guys the rental table. So those are the prices for all the rents. And also I cannot forget to mention about the parking. So the park over there is free for everybody, but if you don't have what they call the area pass, they're gonna ask you to park in a parking lot that is a little bit farther from the mountain. And if you don't have this area pass, you probably have a season pass, so they're also gonna allow you to park closer. Now I'm gonna move to the peak of Seymour, and from here you guys can see the city and also Mount Baker down there in the back. Here is also a picture of what it looks like, and I'm gonna turn the camera to the right too, and from here you guys can see the city from the back, and this is a picture of how it looks like. And now I'm gonna turn a little bit more so you guys can probably see Grouse over here and the tip of Cypress Peaks over there. So let's move to Grouse, and from Grouse you can see Cypress and also Seymour. And now let's move to the peak of Cypress, and you guys can see Seymour and Grouse there too. And now we finished the video, guys, showing you all the three mountains from this point of view.
So that's it for today's video, boys. If you guys like it, please hit that like button. Also, flying kick to the subscribe button too. I'm gonna be posting a lot more content from here, Vancouver, and all the mountains. Also some things from Mount Baker, Whistler, and other mountains that I go. And also don't forget to share the video with your friends. Show them how the mountains here work, especially those friends who have never been in the city. That's gonna be very helpful. So that's it. Thanks a lot. Peace.